vacation. I'm taking a vacation. I'm working too hard. Underneath the palm trees, I'm looking at the stars. Got a new sensation that takes me away. Riding on a longboard and catching a wave. Another road, so wave breaking on the water. Here comes another. Oh, so wave breaking on. Here comes another. Oh, so wait. Way down on a dirt road on the edge of this town, you can find the locals hanging around. The night is so clear, but somewhere in the distance you listen, you hear another road, so wave breaking on the water. Here comes another. Oh, so wave breaking on the water. Here comes another. Gotta get away, I've got to get away from it all and let it all go. I've gotta get away, I've got to catch a wave. Catch me if you can. I'm sending you a postcard from a happy guy. Out upon this ocean, under beautiful skies, I'm looking for the sunrise to shine on the land, and I can feel the water take me back to the sand. Another road, so wave breaking on the water. Here comes another. Oh, so wave breaking on the water. Here comes another. Oh, so wave. Oh, so wave. Thank you. Thank you all. Dug this song up and learned a little bit about it today. This was by Woody Guthrie, written in 1940. And it's called This Land Is Your Land. And I like a lot of the verses. He wrote a lot of verses. Came out in 1944. And he took the words of the song, the melody, everything, not the words, just the melody, from the Carter family. And it was called When the World is on Fire. And the words are, when the world is on fire, I go to heaven. And I lie in God's bosom as my pillow. And I thought, okay, well, there's more evidence that God is a she. So Sing along if you like. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. And as I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. The sun comes shining as I was strolling, the wheat fields waving, and the dust clouds rolling, the fog was lifting. A voice came chanting that this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, to the redwood forest, to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. This is an original verse that I found. It's really the original verse. It's not in any of its recordings. There was a big wall there that tried to stop me. The sign was painted, private property, but on the backside it didn't say nothing. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. One bright sunny morning, in the shadow of the steeple by the relief office, I saw my people, and as they stood there hungry, I stood there wondering, God blessed America for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made, this land was made, this land was made for you and me.
That was great, Ray. Thank you. God is in this place. The infinite intelligence and divine love of the universe are expressing into and as each and every one of us. And those who are with us online this morning, there is a love fest going on. It comes directly from the divine heart, and it expresses itself into and as each and every one of us, bringing us together very much on purpose here in this place, where we are celebrating the here and the now, celebrating the presence divine that has continued to move through us in the most amazing ways, bringing the creative expression of life into each and every personal life, bringing the healings that are necessary, bringing the revealing of a greater truth to each of us and to all of us as a beloved community. And so we give great and glorious thanks to be together in the one heart, the one mind, experiencing the joy, the deep joy of the divine that eliminates anything less than that and celebrates its divine nature, eternally manifesting as the beauty within us all. For this and oh so much more we give thanks as we gather. And as we release our word to the perfect law of mind, I invite you to say with me, and so it is. And so there. I had to say that. These are our beloved friends. Some of you may have met them. We're so grateful to welcome Dr. Kaye Hanlon, her wife Leonie Walker. The two of them are some of the greatest humans on the earth. And we're so happy we got to have brunch with them this morning. Imagine brunch before church. It was awesome. My heart is so full of both of you beautiful people. Thank you for being. Thank you. We love you more. And so thank you for coming to the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living, whether you're here with us in person or whether you are watching us online. We are one family wherever you happen to be. You know, there's one life. It's a life divine, and that life is your life and my life. So wherever we are one in this divine presence. And isn't that juicy to know? It really is. That's one of my favorite words. And so we are here. We have beautiful spiritual tools that we use for every imaginable human experience, and we've all been through them and continue to do so, huh? And it's wonderful to know that these spiritual tools are universal. Ernest Holmes, our founder of Science of Mind, didn't make them up. He was a genius in terms of synthesizing the great works of the entire universe in terms of science, philosophy, religion. And as a matter of fact, it's not by accident that he called this religious science. Metaphysics simply means beyond the physical, and it includes the physical. And so we give thanks for the opportunity to study and to learn and to share. All of you have had classes, and we continue to do that. I have to tell you, this young lady right over here that I just welcomed, when she was taking first year with me, that's how she would do her treatments. She would end each one with, and so there, which I think is wonderful. I give you all permission to do the same. And so there. And of course, we belong to a greater organization, the Centers for Spiritual Living. It used to be called the International, it used to be called Religious Science International. That's what you knew before when we were in Palo Alto. They're still there. But before that, it was the International Association of Religious Science Churches. We were called churches before we were called centers. And I still say that too. It's a perfectly legitimate word. And we share the values of what has now become the Centers for Spiritual Living. Same philosophy, same teaching, same wonderful opportunity to make a difference in our world. And so one of our mission that we share with all the centers all over the world, and we do have centers all over the world, as you know. So our mission statement is simply awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Don't you think it's time that we awakened ourselves and one another and a whole lot of other people out there in the world to their spiritual magnificence? Whether they know it or not, each person is a divine idea in the mind of the divine, and the heart of the divine must eventually awaken to that. Let's do our best to help them in the meantime, to help them awaken. How do we do that? Oh, not by preaching, but simply by being. By bringing the best of ourselves, our authentic selves, into the world. They can't help it but be inspired by you. And then, of course, there is the vision statement that we share, because we're here for this reason, and I agree with it. We are here to co-create a world that works for everyone, a world that works for all. It's more than the peeps, isn't it? It's the plants and the rivers of the planet and the beautiful beings, our little animal friends as well. it's a whole microcosm, and a whole macrocosm. We are the microcosm in it. In fact, Reverend Mike and I belong to the clergy fellowship here, which is called, they keep changing the name, but it is now UMLIA. It is the Upper Mainline Interfaith Alliance, and we love that, and we have realized, and in fact, at one of our meetings, we usually meet at lunchtime once a month, take a little break for the summer, but I remember saying at one meeting when they're all different faith traditions, and we like each other, and we support each other, and it's a wonderful thing. And I remember looking around one time and saying, we are the microcosm for the way the macrocosm of the world can be. And they all agreed with that. That's what we're doing. In fact, that's how we got to this beautiful place that we meet each month, is that Pastor Nathaniel Malberg is a member of that group, and we became friends, and he loved the idea of our being here, and we loved it too. Here we are. Bring more people. Okay. So we also have a statement that we use right here in our own center that our Board of Trustees came up with years ago. And I'd like you to say it with me if you'd like to. It is living, loving, learning. Spirituality that works. Darn it. Now we're going to have our congregational song. If you're up for it, you want to stand up and let's sing My Soul is Welcome Here.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Thank you, Ray. Okay, it's time for the teen wisdom. And here you are, Mila, the only teen in the house. You got to be 17 not long ago, didn't you? Wow. Wow. We love you so much. I'm going to tell you about when I was in high school, and that was a couple years ago. Grew up at the beach, Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach in Southern California, and so we would ride our bicycles down to the beach every day that we could, and I was not a surfer. At that time, it was mainly boys who did the surfing, right? But before that, when I was like 10, 11 years old and 12 and so forth, before I was in high school, we'd go to the beach all the time, walk or ride our bikes down, and we would ride the waves. We'd do body surfing. And have you ever done that? You have, all right, here in the Atlantic Ocean. Do you know what I found out when I moved out here? That the Atlantic Ocean is actually warmer than the Pacific Ocean. Isn't that nice? So you have a warmer sea than we did. So we'd do body surfing, and so we wait for the wave, and then, phew, and it would often land us on our heads in the sand, and we'd get sand in our teeth, and we'd get to pick it out. Yeah, that wasn't my favorite part, but it didn't stop us from doing it again and again and again, right? And so sometimes they were lovely rides in, and sometimes they were knock you on your head rides, but it didn't stop because it was so much fun. We rode the waves. Well, we've got a whole new theme this month here, and it's about surfing the waves of life. So we're going to take that into a metaphorical interpretation, where there's a lot of sandy beaches, and you get your head knocked into it every now and then, and sometimes we have things in our lives that are kind of like that, but it doesn't stop us from riding the waves. And the important thing is that you and I know how to ride the waves of consciousness above all of the nonsense that might be going on in the world, or about the tough things that we might be going through. Yeah? Anything you want to say about that? No, I didn't think so. And Mom is all lined up, ready to do the announcement. So let's just keep surfing, okay? And stay on top of all that stuff that would maybe scare us, or make us wonder, or doubt, or lose our faith. No, we just keep surfing. Just keep surfing, even on the boogie board, right? Okay. When were you last on a boogie board? It was a while, huh? All right, well, thank you for being here and representing all the teens in the world. You do it very well, Mila. Now I'd like to, yay! Now I'd like to invite your mom up, who is the vice president of our boards of trustees, Monet, to give us the announcements. Yoo-hoo!
Hi. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Great. My name is Monet Farrington, or Money Farrington. That's on his paper. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Yeah. I'm the VP of your board and the AV team, and just a happy, just lovely member of this beautiful community. So we have many wonderful activities planned for the month of July, starting with tomorrow. There's Nibbles and New Thoughts. It'll be held at Anthony's Italian Restaurant on King Street in Malvern tomorrow night, Monday, July 7th. I cannot believe it's July 7th already, which is crazy. It's from 6:30 to 8 p.m. for enjoyable discussion and good food. Everyone's welcome to come, and please invite someone. The full moon ceremony will take place this week as well in Paoli on Wednesday, July 9th. See Linda O'Neill for information. Please make sure, if you do plan to come, to register online. We have a new and exciting event coming up on July 24th. It's the day before Dave Matthews' concert. I just want to throw that out there. Absolutely. The concert series, not Dave Matthews, this one for our local community, will be on Thursday, July 24th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Please see Diane Wilson for more information. We'll be doing more community activities and events, so please be on the lookout for those. There is another summer concert series with Mysterious Ways at Rose Tree Park in Media on Thursday, July 31st. That's also from 7 to 8:30. And then for that, please see Trish Pedinati. I think that's how you say her last name. So there'll be two events back-to-back weeks. And then the Science of Mind magazine, there is a double issue, and it is available today. Please see Linda O'Neill for that as well. And for these and other opportunities to be involved, please go to our website at cslphilly.org. Stay tuned for the opportunities and enjoy your spiritual buddies. Take care.
I wrote this with a friend of mine years ago when I lived in the ashram, back in the 70s. It's a Shiva chant. It's another Shiva chant. I'm into Shiva chants these days because Shiva is the destroyer, and it's the aspect of God that's a destroyer, and then it builds again. So that is part of life. Things break down. It's not bad. It's God's will that way. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye. Namastasme, 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 namo namaha. Thy will be done, Lord, thy will be done each day. Thy will be done, Lord, thy will be done, thy will be done each day. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye. Namastasme, 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 namo namaha. Thy will be done, Lord, thy will be done each day. Thy will be done, Lord, thy will be done, thy will be done each day. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye.
Let's take a deep, sacred breath of spirit and allow that beautiful, life-giving breath to circulate through our bodies, our emotions, our thoughts, our entire consciousness, renewing, restoring, healing, blessing, illuminating, and bringing peace. And as that beautiful breath continues, let it become a pathway to your heart. And as you enter into this sacred space, the very soul of your being, you come for rest and renewal, leaving outside anything of concern or doubt, any false belief in separation. There is one, only one life, ever present, your life, all lives, expressions of the one. And the will of the divine is for life and more life. And so accepting that divine truth and allowing it to begin to flow through us, we rest, having been welcomed into this inner sanctum, this holy place of love and peace. We rest, being renewed, restored, nothing to do, nothing to think, only to be. The I am that I am, that precious presence, the authentic self within. How sweet it is simply to be present to the presence. rest, be renewed, and feel so grateful that all is well. All is well, truly, truly, all is well.
Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye. Namastasme, 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 namo namaha.
Good morning. My name is Bo Smith, and I have the honor and privilege of being a licensed professional practitioner of religious science. And it is also my honor and privilege to offer this morning's opening treatment for today's service, which I will be doing so immediately. And I will be offering it in first person tense and offering it to you as one that we can all embrace for today. And so as I close my eyes and breathe deeply, I do so in deep gratitude, recognizing that I am is here. That deep, divine, embracing love is who I am, here and now. And as I move from the shallow waters of life into the deeper embrace of divine love and guidance, I do so with an open heart and open mind, opening myself to the wisdom being provided in today's talk, and in the music being provided, and the many, many opportunities presented to me throughout my day going forward. This wisdom permeates my being, and as it permeates my being, I project it out into the world around me, living a life of integrity and gratitude. Moving into today's service, I open my mind and heart, knowing that I am who is needed. I am what is needed. And I am how what is needed in today's world. In deepest gratitude and deepest love, I allow myself to be my own perfect demonstration in action today and forevermore. Releasing my word into the law of mind, I know that all is perfect, whole, and complete. And so there, and so it is. Amen. This morning's affirmation, appearing on the screen shortly, I invite you to repeat it aloud with me. I let go of the shallow shore of doubt and fear and embrace the divine guidance that is forever embracing me.
Funniest thing, I have to admit, was after the first song I sang today. I almost wanted to say, and so there. And I have no idea why I wanted to say that. I'm not going to say that. Why would I say that? I'm like, I have to watch everything I say. Don't say that. So there, yeah, right. I was on the right track. I didn't even know it. Anyways, talking about right track, got an email from Maxine, and not too many people have songs written from emails, but this one got written. Origin of the song, January 21st, just sang. I'm called to keep that high watch. Nothing moves me from the truth within. I am here to lift and nurture all. It's the joy that fires my resolve. And I was born to this life, and I was made for these times. Steady in my love for God's creation, I refuse temptation to despair. I'm now citadel of power in my heart. I'm ready now to do my sacred part. 'Cause I was born to this life, and I was made for these times. Steady in my love, steady in my love, steady in my love. I am called to keep that high watch, and nothing moves me from the truth within. I'm now a citadel of power in my heart. I'm ready now to do my sacred part. I was born to this life, and I was made for these times. I was born to this life, and I was made for these times. Sing with me on this one. Steady in my love, steady in my love, steady in my love, steady in my love, steady in my love. 'Cause I was born to this life, and I was made for these times.
I like it better every time you do that, Ray. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Well, as I was telling all of the teenagers who are now off on a party of their own, this is a brand new month. And she's back. It's, of course, the theme for the year is deeper understanding, greater aliveness. And the theme for the month of July is surfing life's waves. Okay, so today we're talking about faith in the living waters. How can we surf life's waters if we don't have confidence in something that is deep and eternal that we are coasting along, rather than getting immersed in something that we see in the world that could upset us terribly? My quote happens to be from, well, let's see, I'll tell you what it's from afterwards. Above all, I would ask that you enter more fully into the flow of life, releasing limiting and negative thoughts and becoming more open to a stream of fresh, inspiring, life-affirming ideas. It's from a book called Alive and Ageless. Some of you may have heard of it. All right. Living deeply, and that's what we are called to do, living deeply in the foundation of spirit is what builds our faith. And faith is like a muscle. It must be exercised in order to serve us well. Today is the birthday of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. And I love celebrating that man. I recently saw a beautiful video of a song that was created for his celebration, and a beautiful woman sang it, a Tibetan woman, and they brought His Holiness the Dalai Lama up to bless and to be blessed. It was just a beautiful video, and he was frail. He was being helped up, and yet as he was blessing the old and blessing the babies, the smile just radiates from that man. You know, think about what he and his people have been through in the face of China's brutality and the expulsion from their own homeland. He maintains this deep peace and joy. There's always a smile on his face. And when we think about the attributes of the divine, being life, love, light, peace, power, beauty, and joy, and we recognize that we partake of and are emanations and expressions of that same divine life, then peace is possible for all of us to experience in our hearts, as is joy. That smile, always the smile on his face in the midst of all that he and his people have been through. He can maintain this. He says, we can never obtain peace in the outer world until we make peace within ourselves. That can be a bigger order than we imagined sometimes, huh? Because we do get all of the flotsam and jetsam of the race-conscious mind that would interfere with our awareness of who we really are and what this world can be because of who we are and because of what we can do. And he also says, our prime reason in this life is to help others. That's pretty simple. And if you cannot help them, at least don't hurt them. I think that's pretty good too. And he says, out of 1 billion humans, the troublemakers are just a handful. That's a good perspective, isn't it? Because we can get too caught up in thinking that it's going to hell in a handbasket. I don't know how you can fit hell into a handbasket from the pictures that were presented to us by Dante and so forth. But if it's okay with me if they do, because let's just let it go, because it never existed anyway. You know, heaven and hell. Heaven, uranos, the Greek, it simply means that which is forever and ever expanding. We are forever and ever expanding when we live in the depths of the heart of the divine. And hell, that's when we're held in. That's constriction. So have you ever experienced heaven? And have you ever experienced hell? Oh, many times, yes. Which would we prefer? Let's continue to deepen our connection, go dive deeply into this divine presence, bring up all the goodness that is within us and within the human race, because we have access to it, you know. This race-conscious mind that we speak about, we're saying, like, don't let it interfere with your choices. Don't let what the people have believed in years past that just weren't so. Don't let it into the portals of your mind. I agree with that, but let's keep in mind that more importantly, we have the ability, and I consider it the responsibility, to add goodness to that human race-conscious mind. Each one of us makes more of an impress on it than we may realize. I think it's time we awakened to our own spiritual magnificence and our ability to make a difference. My religion is kindness, he says, the Dalai Lama. And he says, be kind whenever possible. And it is always possible. That can be challenging at times if we're up against something or someone that seems to be opposed to our core values, the virtues that we know are endemic within us and within all beings. Some people haven't awakened to those virtues yet. Some folks haven't yet come to that realization. Many of you know that years ago in a congregation I was serving in Palm Desert, that there was a woman in her 90s. She was a chaplain minister, and she she did a beautiful work on her own. She worked in hospitals and also with mental health. And Reverend Kathleen was just an amazing woman. She dressed like a teenager. She always had high heels, often red. And she took every single class I ever taught. One day I said, and she sat in the front row taking notes, always turned in her growth assignments. That's a euphemism for homework. Remember? She always turned them in, and she always had perfect attendance. And one day I said, Reverend Kathleen, you are a minister. You've been a minister for years. Why do you keep taking these classes? She said, well, Dr. Maxine, I just want to keep evoluting right along. Evoluting right along. Now, isn't that what we're doing? Isn't that what everybody's doing, whether they are aware of it or not? We come into this world, and we're not blank slates. We're divine beings. We're here very much on purpose, and that purpose will be revealed to us as the little ones become bigger ones, and then so forth, and young adults, and grown-up people, and senior citizens. Sometimes that's when we finally get it, you know. We just keep evoluting right along. Let's keep in mind that those handful of troublemakers are also evoluting right along and will ultimately awaken to that. They have to, because they were created from the same divine life that you and I were. We've got to remember that, or we're going to be adding something unpleasant to this human race consciousness. The anger, the fear. Hey, I get upset. I don't like to see people abused. I don't like to see people left out. And when there are limitations to what is freely given and appropriate for people in our nation and in the world, maybe then we're being called to step up, to do our part in a different way. Maybe rather than the criticism that is so easy for us to come up with, we can move to a place of greater compassion. Don't you think the world can use greater compassion? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Say amen. Amen. So how do we deepen our faith in order to ride these waves that are sometimes turbulent in our lives? Until our faith becomes stronger and stronger, we are likely to sink. And you got to keep kicking, you know, treading the water till we finally recognize that we're being held in here. I remember as a kid learning to swim, and the first thing that we were taught was how to float. Yeah? That's important. That's really important. Because if you get stuck out in the deep end of the pool or in the ocean somewhere, and you're really not yet knowing how to swim, you better know how to float. That means completely relaxing. You're usually kind of scared. Remember when you were first learning to swim? It's like, oh, you know, I can't, if I let go, I'm going to go down to the bottom. No, not if you really, really relax. And so that's an important thing to learn. I had to learn it, and I'm so glad that I did. So how do we deepen our faith? By relaxing into meditation practices, whatever they are for you. You know, we have meditation here. We teach it from time to time. Everybody has their own process. Sometimes people call it contemplation, and that's valid too. Sometimes people go to an ashram, and they get up early in the morning, and it's cold in there, and you better just be really good and quiet and do your mantra, or you'll get in trouble for that, right? Or there's so many forms of meditation. We're just completing the mystical heart class, this cosmic heart, the wonderful mystical heart. You know that all mystics speak the same language because they all come from the same country. And what we've been studying in this beautiful mystical heart class, which concludes this coming week, is that whether it's Tibetan or whether it's Hindu or Buddhist or Christian or Islamic, that it's all the same. We're all getting to the cosmic heart. And that's a beautiful realization. So whatever the spiritual practice is that brings you deep into your authentic self, that's how we get to continue flexing our faith muscle, depending on the dependable instead of trying to count on something that's going to change from day to day and make us nuts, okay? Depending on the dependable. Remembering that which is eternal and that which is temporal. This comes, this goes. Humanity has been in picklements, predicaments, horrible experiences that we don't even know about. We read about in history books, but let's keep in mind that we always rise. As my beloved former colleague, Dr. Kennedy Schultz, used to say, cream always rises. We are the cream of the crop. I don't mean that we are isolationists or better than anybody else, but every sentient being has within them that divine spark. And it always rises, and it always takes our persona with us when we allow it to do so. So we work within ourselves, and then we work with others to establish the unity that is our divine intention. We always come from peace. We always come from love. If you need to have a tough discussion with someone, get really, really quiet and really, really deeply connected and come from peace. Come from love. These two marvelous human beings right now, I can remember in Palo Alto, Portola Valley, they would have workshops on bringing people together who were very unlike from the externals, right? Whether it was sexual orientation or ethnicity, political views, or anything else. Always, always coming from peace. Always, always coming from love. That's how we make a difference and help other people in the evolutionary process. So when I am coming from this place of peace and love, when I have dived deeply into the depths of spirit, that's when I ask, what is mine to do today? What is mine to do? I don't want to be like Don Quixote and jump on my horse and ride off in all directions before I have gotten clearly established in spirit. And then I want to ask, what is mine to do? Does it mean gathering with a bunch of people somewhere? I might want to do that. Reverend Mike and I do our spiritual practices together every morning. It's really nice. And then we go into our day clear about what is ours to do. Not always the same thing, and that's okay. We're both just evoluting right along, you know. At the quantum level, we're all one. That helps us let go of fear. That helps us let go of separation. That helps us come back to our experience of unity. We love unity in diversity. It's all divine. It's all divine. And so, one life, one presence, one power, and we're all sharing it. Unity in diversity is not only real, it's required. It's a necessity for us to become aware of it because it's a real thing. I cannot afford to cast aspersions on other people's beliefs or actions. I can't afford to do that. I'll mess myself up if I do. I need to recall that we are all one. That there is no opposition when I'm not opposing. You know, Ernest Holmes said, you know, to stand for, not against. We stand for truth. We stand for compassion. We stand for justice. We stand for love. We stand for equality. We stand for truth. Capital T, truth. And neither can I afford to become overly entangled in the nincompoopery of the world. I can't afford to do that. We can't. And it's easy to do. Did you notice it's easy to do? Turn off your televisions. We want to be informed, but we want to be not conformed to this world. And the master teacher Jesus said, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be not conformed to this world. This is where the temporal is. It comes and it goes. It didn't come to stay. The universe really is trustworthy. Who was it? Was it Bucky Fuller who said, you can trust a universe that makes flowers? Let's not forget that. We dive deeply into spirit. When we do, it brings peace. And it brings confidence. And we stay above the flotsam and the jetsam. And there's always going to be plenty of flotsam and jetsam. Let's not be overly involved with it. We need to be informed. That's fine. But we want to stay serene as we're moving into new possibilities. So let's work together to co-create, that's what we do, co-create a new paradigm of mutual respect and admiration and appreciation. Let's have an ever-growing faith, however we find that faith, an ever-growing faith in the living waters of spirit, because we can depend on that completely. It's time we realized what we shouldn't be trying to rely on and what we must completely depend upon. It does not change. Everything out here changes. Infinite mind, the divine love of this universe, never changes. Like the prodigal son, the prodigal daughter, we need to return to it and feel that divine embrace when we do. And let's release any attachment to any fears about the temporal, the things that come and go that really would get our knickers in a knot if we let it. We have to let go of that and confirm our faith in the eternal. One of my morning practices after coming out of meditation is divine presence. Open my heart, illumine my mind, and guide my hands that I might be the presence of God's love in this world. Or you can say divine love, whatever works for you. I'm going to ask you to say this with me. Infinite presence, open my heart, illumine my mind, and guide my hands that I might be the presence of love in this world.
That I might be the presence of God in this world.
And so, my beloveds, beginneth our lesson. Thank you. All right, how wonderful to be with you all. Now we're going to have our prosperity time, one of my favorites. It's our opportunity to celebrate the abundance of this life. And we give thanks that so many of you give in so many ways. And if you give other than the way, old-fashioned way that I do, just bless the plate as it comes through, okay? So let's know together that something wonderful happens every time we circulate the divine abundance. And so we're going to speak our prosperity affirmation together. I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered, and so it is. Thank you. So there, and so there.
Amazing flow of water of love, revolving grace that gives and takes, the offerings and gifts we bring to the fountain of life, the eternal spring. We throw our coins in the water of light. Only good will multiply from the endless flow, from the eternal truth. We return with gifts and gratitude. It continues every day. Divine circulations through all of life in many ways for countless generations.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you all. And thanks to Bo, who we piped. Oh, yes. And so we give great thanks for these beautiful blessings that bless each person who gave so much of their heart and continue to bless our beautiful, beloved community. And so it is. Thank you. Good reminding. And thank you to our practitioner from Tallahassee, Florida, who gave us our treatment today. We have 4 practitioners who are usually here, and then 4 who are in other states like Florida and California. So we love that, and they're usually here. But it's the 4th of July weekend. Some people go places. Have you heard about that? Anyway, thank you all for being here. We have some refreshments afterwards. Please stay for a little while if you can. And we're going to have a closing song, and then I'll say a couple of good words, and we'll go have some cookies. I need them. All right. Yes. They remember them too. Come on up here. Let's all sing together. What did you say? Oh, birthdays. That's right. Come on up. We'll sing it all together. We're going to do birthdays for everybody. Right. Everybody who was born in July, we're singing to you. No. It's you and I. And the Dalai Lama. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday to you. Thank you. Right, now we're going to sing our closing song. If you come this way, you can look at the screen. With thankful hearts, we end this time. With thankful hearts, we say goodbye. We show our love and we share our home with each other. We're not alone. With thankful hearts, we end this time. With thankful hearts, we say goodbye. We show our love and we share our home with each other. We're not alone. With each other.